Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. Former Dolphins offensive tackle Terron Armstead has delivered what might be the biggest endorsement of Tua Tagovailoa's career, and it's got Dolphins fans buzzing on the Rich Eisen show. Armstead didn't just support his former quarterback. He compared him to a Hall of Famer. Yes, you heard that right, Drew Brees. That's not a light comparison. Brees isn't just a great quarterback, he's a legend. Super Bowl champion, all-time passing leader at one point, and someone who turned the New Orleans Saints from NFL afterthought into perennial contenders. So when a five-time Pro Bowler like Armstead sees those traits in Tua, it means something. Especially coming from someone who literally had Tua's back protecting his blind side for the past 3 seasons. And let's be honest, Tua's been through the ringer, from early injuries to media skepticism to inconsistent playoff results. It's been a rocky 5 years. But Armstead is here saying loud and clear that Tua is built for greatness. Tua's journey has never been easy, and that's exactly what makes this endorsement even more powerful. Coming out of Alabama, he was one of the most decorated college quarterbacks in recent memory. Left-handed, deadly accurate, calm under pressure. Tua was supposed to be the guy. But since landing in Miami, the story's been a roller coaster. 1 week, he's the darling of NFL analysts. The next, he's being picked apart for every throw. The scrutiny has been relentless, and for a young quarterback still finding his rhythm in the pros, it's been a real test of mental toughness. And yet, Tua's quietly built a 38-24 record as a starter. He's thrown 100 touchdowns. That's not nothing. Those are legitimate numbers, especially for someone who's battled injuries, changed coordinators, and carried the weight of a franchise desperate for relevance. He may not be Patrick Mahomes, but you don't just stumble into those stats without real talent. And now, here comes Armstead, throwing gasoline on the Pro Tua fire in the best way possible. He didn't just say Tua's good, he said he's elite. He said Tua, like Brees, doesn't just throw to areas, he throws darts, precise, calculated, surgical. That kind of praise doesn't come from nowhere. Armstead has blocked for both quarterbacks. He knows the similarities better than anyone else. And the fact that he mentioned timing, anticipation, and ball placement, those are the most valuable traits in today's pass-heavy NFL. That's what separates good quarterbacks from great ones. Plenty of QBs have strong arms or flashy plays, but few can dissect a defense with the kind of accuracy Tua has shown when he's on. So, if you're a Dolphins fan, this comparison isn't just flattering, it's a glimmer of hope. Maybe Tua doesn't need to be someone else. Maybe he just needs the right support like Brees had in New Orleans. And that's where things get interesting, because Drew Brees didn't become Drew Brees overnight. Remember, he had his ups and downs early in San Diego. He even faced questions about his future when he injured his shoulder. It wasn't until he got to New Orleans, paired with Sean Payton and a system that fit him perfectly, that his true potential exploded. That's the part of the story people forget. So when Armstead brings up Brees' past, he's not just talking mechanics. He's saying, give Tua time, give him stability, maybe even give him the benefit of the doubt. Not every star burns hot from day one. Sometimes it takes the right mix of coaching, scheme, and trust. And in a league where quarterbacks are tossed aside like fast food wrappers, that patience is rare. Tua has the talent, he has the work ethic. What he needs now more than anything is a franchise that believes in him. But belief isn't enough if the Dolphins as a whole can't deliver. And that's where the pressure cooker really starts heating up. 2025 is shaping up to be a make-or-break year, not just for Tua, but for the entire Miami leadership. General Manager Chris Grier is under the microscope. Head coach Mike McDaniel, once considered a rising star, is starting to feel the weight of unmet expectations. It's a results-driven league, and Miami's been on the brink for too long. They're good but not great, talented but inconsistent, flashy but not built to last in the playoffs. If this team doesn't make a deep postseason run next season, we could see wholesale changes. That includes the front office, the coaching staff, and yes, even the quarterback. No one is safe. And despite everything Tua has done right, this could be the moment that defines his NFL legacy. And yet, there's something poetic about Armstead making this statement now. He's no longer on the team. He has no reason to pump Tua up unless he really believes it. And let's face it, he played long enough to know the difference between a franchise quarterback and a placeholder. If he's saying Tua has elite traits, That carries weight. It's not just PR spin, it's lived experience, and for Dolphins fans, that should be encouraging. Because if there's even a shred of truth to the Drew Brees comparison, the ceiling is sky high. Tua doesn't need to be perfect, he just needs to keep growing, stay healthy, and keep slinging those darts. The rest, that's up to Miami to figure out. Get him a consistent line, a run game that doesn't disappear, a defense that can hold leads. Do that, and suddenly, Tua isn't just surviving, he's thriving, of course. The NFL isn't about what could be, it's about what is, and right now, the reality is that Tua's future in Miami is far from guaranteed. If 2025 goes south, and the team once again falls short in January, it might not matter how accurate he is. The NFL is littered with talented quarterbacks who never got the right situation. Just look at what happened in places like Chicago, Washington, or even earlier with Brees himself in San Diego. Sometimes, a franchise gives up too soon. Other times, a change of scenery unlocks greatness. If Miami isn't careful, they could find themselves watching Tua blossom somewhere else. And let's be real, there are plenty of quarterback-needy teams that would love to take a shot on someone with Tua's resume. The guy is still young. He's still hungry, and he's still got a chip on his shoulder the size of the AFC East. But maybe, just maybe, this is the chapter where it all clicks. The roster is still talented. Tyreek Hill is still lightning in cleats. Jalen Waddle is one of the most dynamic young receivers in the game. If the O-line can stay healthy and McDaniel can tighten things up schematically, this team has everything it needs to finally make that leap. And if they do, watch out. Because confident, protected to armed with precision, timing, and an elite supporting cast is a nightmare to deal with. Armstead sees that. He lived it, and now he's saying, publicly, what many in the Dolphins building might be thinking: this guy can be the real deal. He just needs the runway, and in 2025, the runway is clear. It's time to take off or crash and burn. So the question becomes, what version of Tua will we see? The one who slices up defenses with pinpoint accuracy, or the one who gets swallowed by pressure? Both from defenses and expectations. That's what makes this season so fascinating. Every throw will be dissected, every win will be magnified, every mistake, front page news. That's the burden of being a franchise quarterback, and Tua knows that. The difference is, now he has someone outside the locker room, someone with credibility saying he's up to the challenge. That's a rare gift. And in a league obsessed with narratives, it just might be the beginning of a new one. Tua's not the next Brees, he's the first Tua. But if Armstead's right, that might be more than enough. So here we are, a crossroads season. A quarterback with something to prove, a team teetering between contender and pretender, and now, a Hall of Fame comparison that has raised the stakes even higher. If Tua lives up to the hype, he becomes the heart of Miami's next great era. If he doesn't, he could become the NFL's next great what if. But for now, he's got the ball, he's got the backing, and he's got the chance. The rest is up to him. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments, what's your take on the Fins this week? The NFL world is buzzing, and not in a good way if you're a Miami Dolphins fan. Over the past few days, social media has been set ablaze with rumors, whispers, and so-called insider leaks that TYREEK Hill, the electrifying wide receiver, who has been the face of the Dolphins offense, might be packing his bags and heading north to Foxborough, of all places. That's right. There's real noise suggesting that the New England Patriots are making a bold, behind-the-scenes push to land Hill, and Dolphins Nation, they are not taking it well. The idea of their superstar, a key piece in their playoff pushes and the heart of that vertical offense, possibly donning the jersey of a bitter divisional rival, is triggering fury, disbelief, and panic. No official word yet, but where there's smoke in the NFL, well, there's often fire. Especially when Bill Belichick is in the shadows. Now, let's be real here. Nothing is confirmed, not a word from the Dolphins front office. And TYREEK himself has remained relatively quiet on the matter, aside from a cryptic Instagram story showing snowy mountains, which, of course, fans instantly interpreted as a nod to New England's frigid landscape. But what's driving this whole conversation isn't just internet hysteria, it's the silence, the lack of denial, the way agents, insiders, and even beat reporters have suddenly started avoiding questions about Hill's future. Normally, these kinds of rumors get shut down fast, but this one, it's lingering. And Patriots fans are starting to believe this could be the move that brings the franchise back to relevance. The Dolphins faithful, on the other hand, are feeling a cold betrayal looming. And in a division already loaded with drama, this possible trade could light the entire AFC East on fire. Digging deeper, it actually kind of makes sense if you squint. Tyreek Hill has openly talked in the past about wanting another Super Bowl before he retires. He's flirted with retirement timelines, hinted at wanting to do something crazy before he leaves the game. Could this be it? Jumping ship from a Dolphins squad that struggled to convert potential into postseason success to a Patriots team desperately searching for a spark, a marquee name to rebuild their identity. It's not entirely out of the question, and sources close to Hill's camp have mentioned he's not thrilled with how the Dolphins have handled certain contract restructuring talks. Combine that with the team's lack of a deep playoff run, and you've got the perfect storm. It may just be rumors for now, but this situation has all the ingredients of a blockbuster betrayal in the making. What's interesting is how quickly this has turned the Dolphins fan base against Hill. Not just with sadness, but with venom. Social media threads are full of fans burning jerseys, calling him a traitor, and already labeling him the next LeBron in terms of a high-profile move that breaks hearts. And we're still just talking rumors, but that's the emotional weight TYREEK carries in Miami. He's not just a receiver, he's the guy, the face of their offensive resurgence. The one who brought swagger and explosiveness back to Hard Rock Stadium. The idea of him willingly joining the Patriots, a hated rival that tortured the Dolphins for 2 decades under Tom Brady, is just too much for some to take. It's not just about losing a star. It's about losing him to them. That's the part fans are struggling with the most. On the Patriots side, it's a different story entirely. Their fan base is cautiously excited, almost afraid to believe the buzz is real. Let's not forget, New England has struggled mightily to find offensive weapons in the post-Brady era. Mac Jones, Bailey Zapp, whoever ends up under center, they've lacked that true game changer. If Hill actually makes this move, he instantly becomes the centerpiece of their offense, and perhaps even makes New England relevant again. People around the league have quietly said Belichick has one more big move in him before he calls it quits. And this, folks, might be it. Sure, it sounds wild, but in a league where Aaron Rodgers becomes a Jet and Tom Brady ends his career in Tampa, is it really that crazy anymore to imagine Hill in red, white, and blue? Patriots fans are dreaming, Dolphins fans are dreading, and the rest of us, we're watching every detail unfold. Let's not forget the timing here. We're approaching the heart of the offseason, a time when teams make their boldest moves. The draft is behind us, mini camps are heating up, and front offices across the league are evaluating their rosters with cold precision. If the Patriots want Hill, they'd have to offer something massive, and we're talking multiple high picks. Maybe even a player or two, but they've got the cap space flexibility, they've got the hunger. And Belichick, despite his reputation for frugality, has shown before, with names like Randy Moss, that he will swing big when the moment feels right. Hill isn't just a luxury, he could be the spark that ignites the Patriots' next chapter. It would be controversial, sure, but it might also be exactly what both parties, Hill and the Patriots, want, of course. The Dolphins have decisions to make. If this rumor is more than smoke, do they pull the trigger? Do they risk the backlash, the PR nightmare, the potential unraveling of their offense, all for the sake of a massive return package? Because make no mistake, losing Hill means a serious drop in explosiveness. It affects to a ceiling. It affects how defenses scheme. It affects ticket sales, jersey sales, everything. But if there's a feeling in that front office that Hill is already mentally halfway out the door, then maybe they're looking to maximize value now before the relationship goes truly sour. These are the kinds of decisions that define franchises. It's a gamble, no doubt. But maybe the Dolphins believe that no one player is bigger than the team, even if that player is Tyreek Hill. So where do we stand right now? Honestly, it's chaos. Insiders are tight-lipped. Reporters are dropping vague hints but refusing to confirm anything. Players are posting reaction GIFs. Coaches are no commenting in interviews, and Hill himself, he's doing what stars do best, saying very little while letting the world speculate. Maybe this is all leverage for a better deal in Miami. Maybe it's a genuine desire to join a new challenge, or maybe it's just off-season noise. But whatever it is, it's got fans absolutely glued to their screens, waiting for the next push notification, because if this becomes real, if Tyreek Hill actually becomes a New England Patriot, it will go down as one of the most shocking AFC East shakeups of the decade. And for Dolphins fans, the emotions are raw. They're angry, confused, heartbroken, all at once. Some are already trying to justify it. talking themselves into the rebuild or getting younger. Others are just flat out furious, but no one is indifferent. That's the power of a star like Hill. He commands attention, respect, loyalty, and when that loyalty is tested, it cuts deep. This isn't just about football. It's about identity, pride, and tribal NFL loyalty. To see your superstar walk, possibly into the arms of your oldest rival, is sports betrayal at its cruelest. If this move happens, it won't just change the teams. It will shift the entire narrative of the AFC East, maybe even the entire league. But for now, we wait, we speculate, and we brace ourselves for the potential storm. One thing's for sure, the NFL offseason never sleeps, and neither do the rumors. Whether this TYREEK Hill to Patriots saga ends with fireworks or fizzles out into nothing, it's already one of the most talked about stories of the summer, and if it does happen, we'll be looking back on this moment as the start of a new chapter in AFC East warfare. Dolphins fans may be hurting now, but in this league, change is the only constant. And for TYREEK Hill, maybe, just maybe, he's about to turn the NFL upside down one more time. Stay tuned. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.